Thanks for joining us today. I'm Cody Holyoke. Election day is almost here in the state of Missouri. In 2 days, voters head to the polls to make some major decisions affecting your tax dollars and who will lead their cities and towns. Our goal today is to make sure you're informed before you vote. One of the biggest issues on the ballot affects anyone who lives or works in Kansas City, Missouri. The 1% earnings tax is up for renewal, as it is every 5 years per state law. It pays for staffing, city services, you name it. It's been around in one form or another since the 1960s and accounts for a huge chunk of the city's budget. Earnings from businesses and taxpayers generate some $373 million a year. That's nearly half of the city's general fund. 77% of voters passed it the last time it was up for renewal, but the city's not taking any chances this year. Public safety and business leaders have joined forces, making an impassioned plea for voters to keep the tax in place and keep funding city services, because they warn the alternative could be catastrophic.
Without the e-tax, Kansas City will face immediate and devastating cuts, including police officer and EMT layoffs.
It's so important to the quality of life of the people who live and work in this community.
Leaders also point out this tax is unique in that people from outside the city pay it too, lowering the tax burden on folks who live in KCMO. Again, support for the earnings tax has been strong over the last 60+ years, but rising prices and a down economy have leaders really trying to get the word out. I caught up with Mayor Quinton Lucas to discuss the importance of this tax and what losing it could mean for Kansas City. Mayor, thanks for talking with us. Historically, this tax has done well. I mean, it's been around since the 1960s. We did see a couple of years ago with the stadiums, voters say that they did not want a sales tax extension renewed. This is an earning tax, slightly different, I understand. But there might be a reluctance out there. We've seen that at least in recent years. What's your take on that, and what's your message to voters?
You know, I think, first of all, the last time this came up, it was a 77% yes vote. That being said, we're going to respect the voters. We're going to go out and make sure we share with them why it's important. It's why we're sending mail. It's why we have people knocking doors. And it's why we're reminding people of what this is all about. This is basic services for Kansas City. Paying for firefighters, paying for EMTs, paying for cops, paying for street resurfacing. These are the core fundamentals for Kansas City. That's why we believe this renewal is so essential. That's why I've been proud to see it renewed in recent years, and certainly we hope to see that repeated.
What is the feedback been from voters? Because, as you said, you've been out knocking on doors and your people have been looking around. Is there a reluctance to set aside another 1% of their earnings for 5 years?
You know, I think that the biggest thing that we're trying to make clear to people is that this is different than some of the other discussions of late. And so I know there has been a lot of tax discussion, both in Jackson County and other jurisdictions. The earnings tax is something that is fundamentally different. This does go to a core, deliverable, basic service. That is what this is all about. That's what it's always been spent on. And it's the sort of things like how we delivered 162,000 trash bins to Kansas Cityans, 162,000 recycling bins, how we've responded to millions of 911 calls. That is what we are sharing on the doors. From people, you hear all types of angst, ranging from the economy today to issues that are closer to home. We encourage them to make sure that we can, first of all, continue to take care of the services that Kansas Cityans deserve, continue to pay our officers, our firefighters, and more, the 6,000 plus employees we have at Kansas City, and more than anything, that we can continue to build a positive future for Kansas City and all of our neighborhoods.
We've heard from public safety and business leaders kind of sounding the alarm on what would happen if this does phase out over 10 years. Tell us about that and what your message is to voters there.
You know, in terms of the phase out, that is something that, state law would require a 10% reduction every year. Here's the challenge. You either are going to, because about 90% of our budget is employees, so you end up cutting people. I don't want to see mass layoffs. I don't want to see layoffs of firefighters. I don't want to see layoffs of cops. I don't want to see a reduction of services in our city. That is the sort of thing that happens if we see this not renewed. The other thing that happens is increases in other taxes. Do you want to see sales taxes doubled? And heaven forbid, do you want to see another substantial property tax increase? Those are the sorts of parades of horribles that we have to evaluate. A loss in jobs of Kansas City employees, increased costs and services and fees. Those are the sorts of things that if this does not pass, we run into.
Are staffing cuts the first axe to fall if this doesn't work out?
Whenever we have budget issues, unfortunately, that is something that people evaluate. We try to cut to the bone as much as possible, trust me. We get rid of every consulting contract. We get rid of every extra, kind of a perk around. But fundamentally, right? If 90% of your budget's going to be employees and you're dealing with a reduction of half of your general fund gone, then that's going to hit a lot of employees along the way.
These renewals come up every 5 years. Is there any talk or a vehicle to change the duration of that?
I would love to change the duration. I would love for us to not have to vote for this again. And the best way for us to be able to do that is if we get more than 77% yes. Let's blow past what we did in the past. An 80, 85%, 90% yes vote. So we can tell everyone in Jefferson City, leave us alone now. Let us actually just continue to run our city as Kansas Cityans want.
This is looking maybe 5 years in the future, but the Kansas City Chiefs say they're leaving. I imagine they generate quite a bit on the earnings tax with some of the big contracts that we see. What are the talks now to stem that tide in the future?
Well, I think that we'll be fine. First of all, I continue to believe that a number of Chiefs players and coaches and team staff will live in Kansas City, so they'll be part of this, just like all of us Kansas City residents. But we'll continue to grow a lot more businesses in Kansas City. Kansas City is more than just one NFL team, although I love them, right? Kansas City has a lot going on. We have our highest population in our history. We have a lot of businesses, particularly small businesses, that are growing here. Most of our earnings tax doesn't come from big professional athlete contracts. It comes from mom and pop shops. It comes from Kansas City workers and residents. Those are the folks that I think will help our city stay healthy long term. And I'm not too worried necessarily about the fact that we may see changes at football. I think the baseball team will stay. We'll be fine. And, hopefully we continue to see more business growth long term.